What up, y'all? Happy end of the year, and we're gonna talk some football. We're gonna talk some of the best moments in football that happened in 2021. Who's the best forward? Who's the best midfielder? Just a gang of topics just to round out the year. So welcome to the Soccer Comic Rant. This is Ian Edwards. If you're listening, listen at allthingscomedy.com. Omni Studio, iTunes, Spotify, and if you're watching, you can see me right now on YouTube, and you can see Neil Chakravarty in the
Hey.
nondescript script wall behind him in San Diego. He's wearing a sweater. It's cold as shit there, probably. Yeah, it's cold everywhere.
And this
San
boy is not
Diego,
used to this cold.
yeah, it's so weird to see like somebody in a sweater in San Diego. It's like that's the beach state.
Inside the house.
Inside the house. Yeah. So that's bananas. Stand-up comic Chelsea fan, and Lee Hudson wearing his proud Southampton
Morning.
shirt. He said morning. That's funny. I know. It's
Technically
like,
morning.
so what?
Technically morning here.
Yeah, it is morning there, basically. Yeah. So
And it is a good morning because Tottenham couldn't beat us, which is why Martin probably isn't here tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's responding in the chats.
Yeah.
And he's in Poland, so it's like they don't have Zoom in Poland. Like, what's going on?
Is Poland on the same time zone as the UK? Is it like
they're like an hour ahead of us,
ahead?
I think.
Yeah.
Of course they would be. They would be an hour ahead and years behind. So, yeah.
But you know, if Spurs beat Southampton today, he would have been on here, like guaranteed.
Nah, Martin ain't like that. Come on now. But we're gonna get into all that. So give it up for Lee Hudson, stand-up comic from England. Thank you, Aaron Brungardt, who's recovering from COVID. He tested, I don't even know if I should say that, Aaron. My fault. But yeah, thank you for being here, putting this together, and I guess overall, how y'all feeling about the state of football at the end of 2021? Like a lot of coaches, especially in the Premier League, are like complaining about the schedule. And it's funny to see the ones complaining about the schedule and the ones who ain't. Like I just saw an interview by Pep, and he doesn't seem to be bothered by it at all. He's got the wins, and he's got the team to get through this schedule. And so he kind of sounds like he's empathetic with the other teams, but you really know that he ain't. Like the people complaining are like Klopp, Tuchel, and Norwich. Dean Smith today I saw on the BBC, he was complaining hard after taking another L. But what do you guys think about are these arguments legit? Because everybody has this basically the same issue.
Yeah.
So everybody has to play through. It's not like Chelsea. You have to go through this gauntlet of games, and nobody else does. It's not like Chelsea. You don't have money. You're being run by billionaire money. So why are you complaining more than other people?
Yeah, I mean, this thing comes up every year. And as you said, like Pep's not complaining, his team is doing well. So every time things don't go well, some manager out there is complaining.
Mhm.
And I don't know why they're complaining, because like the schedules, everybody knows about the schedule at the beginning of the season. Your clubs are part of those, that sign all these, huge broadcast agreements. 80% of all money from football goes back to players and managers. So I agree.
80%?
80%
That's
of
a
all
lot.
money that goes into all these clubs, because nobody's really making huge profits at a club level or the FA or the FIFA level. Everything really goes back. And so complaining about schedule and stuff, even like with Tuchel, I don't really buy it. But I think one thing I really do agree with Tuchel is that when COVID hasn't gone away, these are still all COVID seasons. So when you did make that move to 5 subs when COVID first came in, why did you get rid of it, and why is it not back like the rest of everywhere else? People are playing with 5 subs, and like we've been really badly hit. And what's happened is, one way 5 subs can help is we are having to now play people who are not fit to play 90 minutes. We're having to make them play 90 minutes. People coming back from COVID, one training session. No, I mean that that's where you can see. It's not that if you're Chelsea, you're allowed to register more than 25 players. You still can. Like every team has a cap of how many players you can register.
The thing is, though, you could have had 5 subs, but if none of them were a striker, you'd still be in the same problem you were in. Like you would have had a slightly fresher defense. That was the big issue. I think you just had no goal threat.
No, but I think what like the last couple of games, right? Like what. So I think he completed a couple of different things. Some I don't agree with. Some I kind of see the point. Like the whole. So the 5 subs thing is something where you kind of allow to manage what. So Hudson and I had COVID, and he came back. He was not supposed to play in 45 minutes. He ended up having to play 90 minutes because Thiago Silva went down, and we used up all our subs.
Players play injured all the time.
I don't think it's really responsible to have people play right after COVID. And when you can, like, it's not something like if you're talking like 4 years back where there was never a concept of 5 subs, I would have probably understood. But 5 subs is something that
5 sub thing. I think it's the teams have to vote. You need a 14-team vote.
Yeah.
So Burnley don't play that 5 sub shit. They're like, we got 1 sub. No way in hell are we gonna allow the teams that are already better than us to have extra subs to run our already COVID ragged team with limited amount of players into the ground. So teams like Burnley, at first I thought it was like the FA or the PA voting on it, but then I just saw like
14 clubs,
and it's the clubs. So it's like it's got to be the poor clubs.
The thing is, though, the poor clubs,
the poor rich clubs,
either way, because if you've got
it's short-sighted. I mean,
if you can only play 3 subs, like it still disadvantages you because it means you're playing the same players in all these crazy fixtures. Whereas the big clubs should technically have more depth to be able to rotate through than the little clubs.
No, but
I know with the 5 subs, they could keep more of their best players fresh. But Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea should still have more depth than Burnley. Like Klopp was having a dig at Burnley for like rejecting that rule. It's like, dude, you've got a big squad. Like you've got a great academy. Use it. Like stop bitching.
No, but I guess the point is like if you don't have 5 subs, you can't rotate. You're not allowing the teams to rotate. Like you take advantage of that depth, right? And that's the same reason why.
From game to game, you can.
I mean, and game to game again. That's where things like with COVID, right? Like if you have, like for example, Chelsea. And again, the COVID protocols are not completely clear. There have been teams that we had 7 players out due to COVID. there have been teams who have had less number of players out due to COVID. Their games got cancelled, ours didn't. So, I mean, that I really think should be an easy thing to fix.
5 subs. I'm for 5 subs, but I don't think, like Klopp was saying, the likes of Burnley gain an advantage from it over a congested fixture list. They don't. They really don't.
I don't see. I actually feel like it's to the benefit of every club because, as you said, like even for a smaller club, for example, Leicester, they're having a really bad injury crisis right now, and when they lose a player, they don't have another player to. It's more important for them to manage the game time of their really good players like Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Neil. Neil, we can't hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There you go, you're back.
You're back on.
Oh, sorry. Where did I stop? Who was I trashing?
I'm not sure. But what I would say is like, I mean, we've had to deal with it as well. Like we played West Ham Sunday. We played like 2 days later, 48 hours later against Spurs, and we made 6 changes. And still got a result. We dusted off Shane Long. That's how desperate we were. Like,
let me ask you a question, Lee. had lost both those games, would you feel the same way?
Probably. Like I said, I'm 4-5 subs.
Right.
But I think certain managers, the way they're whinging about it, like it's just affecting them, is the thing that gets me. It's like, it's a bit like, no, like it would benefit everyone, or it's a detriment to everyone. Like whatever way it gets voted, everyone's in the same boat. And at the end of the day, the big clubs have more players. So through Christmas, they should be able to cope better. And if they're not, it's because they've not used their squad properly, and that's on the manager, and the managers are deflecting.
Mm-hmm.
No, manager's definitely deflecting, because Tuchel could have done so many simple things to make his life easier. In terms of a squad, we let go of 2 strikers, we bought in 1.
Yeah.
There really wasn't much of a reason to let go of somebody like Tammy. Again, we let go of Kurt Zuma, a centre back. We actually are one of the teams that need the most centre back depth, because we use 3 centre backs.
You let go of the only centre back that was signed.
Exactly.
Contract.
We actually let go of 3 centre backs that were signed to long contracts, and they're in this crazy situation.
You're only like short term contract.
4 centre backs are going out of contract, and we let go of Gallagher and Gilmore, and we bought in Saul on the last minute loan. So mistakes were made on the squad basis. So some of that similar to what Klopp was doing last season with the whole centre backs thing. Like
the striking thing's crazy though, because like I think you established last year that Werner wasn't an out and out 9. He runs the channels, but he's not like a target man, or he's not like a focal point. So you bring Lukaku in, and because of his frame, he'll naturally get injuries as well. Like that's just going to happen with him.
And his injuries will take longer to recover from too, because
so I don't, like you say, I don't know why you didn't either keep another number 9 or sign another number 9. Like you let Tammy go and you sent Broja out on loan. Like Broja would have been a great guy to play in the League Cup and to give minutes when people are fucked, because he's shown you to he scored in the Eredivisie in Holland last year. He could score in the Premier League.
He almost scored today, except the ref blew the whistle.
I'll
let Spurs have that though, given that we were quite lucky. But yeah, like it's mystifying why you would risk not having a foot, especially when you play the system that you do, where it needs at least 1 forward in the team to function. Really, you can't play 3 wingers up front or 2 wingers up front and it work.
Why would big mistakes like that made?
I think the idea was that Havertz becomes that backup, but then again, Havertz hasn't shown anything that can give you confidence of him. Theoretically, it looks great, but you're taking a huge gamble if that's your backup to somebody like Lukaku.
Yeah, it's funny how even some of the biggest and smartest teams that do so many things so well still mess up. Like this is such a simple thing for Chelsea to not have and it's not like they had to go out and get these players.
These are all unforced errors. These are not something that you had to. They require a lot of money.
Yeah, the league is too easy. Let's get rid of some of our advantage, and so the gambling is more up in the air. And so,
or you need to do a Pep and play a system that gets your midfielders in goal scoring positions.
That's what they're doing. Except that they're going even further, getting their defenders in goal scoring position.
but then again,
it's the style of play and the system that does that. Like that system can operate with a false 9. Chelsea's system can't operate with a false 9. It's not the way that works, because there's no there's wing backs and it's just not suited to it.
Yeah, that's another thing we need to buy, because the news came out today that Chilwell is out for the rest of the season. So now
I saw you linked with Dest from Barca, because he can play both sides.
He's, I think, depending on who you're listening to, he is one of those guys in the shortlist. But I guess the front runner is Lucadine from Everton.
Yeah, I just read that he's only 28. He's younger than I thought he was.
And apparently he's fallen out of favor with Benitez. So I don't know.
And that's the thing. If Everton sell him, it's like, come on, Everton. It's like they buy players from other teams that have potential and haven't lived up to it. And then anytime they have a decent player, they just take the money for that player. And it's like, it just puts them in a terrible position. You want to talk about, before I guess Neil got knocked off. His internet is not used to being cold. But you want to talk about your like the Southampton win? Who did you beat? Let me see.
West Ham.
You beat West Ham. How did you feel about that win? And then this 1-pointer today against you basically played Shane Long today versus Spurs, and you were down a man. But when you have Shane Long, you're down 2 men, and you still got a point from the game. So which one you want to talk about? Your
West Ham was first. I was at that game as well.
Oh yeah.
On Boxing Day, and that was crazy because we've thrown away so many leads this season. Like we give away so many points from positions where we're ahead. And for that game, for us to go 1-0 up and then they equalised for 1-1, we went 2-1 up, they equalised for 2-2. I was like, oh, we can't do it again.
Well, give your team credit. Give your team credit. You tried to throw away the lead.
Oh yeah, we tried our best.
You did. Yeah, you did. You tried hard.
But like that was the first time I've been in a stadium where there's been like a really tense VAR call. So the one when Brozier got brought down, the referee wasn't having it at all in real time. They all went out for a corner. All the players surrounded him like, you've got to look at this. That was 100% a foul. And then he's like, okay, I'll let the guys have a look at it. They had a look at it, and then watching the ref like run over to the screen and like the tension in the stadium while the referee's watching it on the screen.
Damn.
On the pitch side monitor was great. And then when he awarded the penalty, it was a good moment for us because that was a counter attack. We were under a lot of pressure.
To be honest, that was a free kick and a penalty. After
he's lucky the full foul didn't happen until the box. It started outside the box, but the main foul, luckily, was inside. But Brozier was playing up front on his own in that game as well. Normally we play with 2 forwards, and we played a 4-1-4-1 for that game. Because Hasenhüttl's been smart. He played certain players against West Ham, and he played certain players against Spurs. He had game plans for both games. And 4 points from those 2 games. I think, West Ham away and Spurs at home, that's 2 tough games for us. Underdogs in both of them, and we've got a win and a draw, which has really helped us out because a lot of the teams below us haven't been playing, so they've all got games on us now. So we needed some points in the bag. The Spurs game, I mean, we rode our luck, but I mean, when you're down to 10 men, that happens. Salisu was a bit stupid with the 2 fouls for the 2 yellows. But yeah, I think Kane was onside for the second goal, but who cares?
Yeah, I mean, Walker Peters is like, if you're gonna sell me, is he ex-Spurs player? Like all the highlights was of Walker Peters stopping Spurs from scoring.
He put his feet on the line today.
Like he put his face on the line. He hung onto Harry Kane when Harry Kane tried to go up in the air on the near post. He was just everywhere. He's like he hates Spurs more than Arsenal does.
He's been so consistent for us as well. Like he's played right back, left back. He's such a good player. Like he's been a real bargain, I think, for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bargain that came back to hurt Spurs for sure today. What do y'all think of Conte at Spurs so far?
I think he's moving them in the right direction. I still think he needs another couple of transfer windows to properly get the players he wants, and get rid of some of the deadwood, because there's a lot of deadwood at that club.
Who do you consider deadwood?
Ali, probably. Like there's a good player in there somewhere, but I don't think it's going to happen at Spurs again. He needs a fresh start. He's like when Lingard went to West Ham. He needs that. And Lingard should have stayed there. Looking at it, I said that time.
Yeah, I was watching Dele Alli play today, and I kind of realized the type of player he is. He's the type of guy that waits for the game to come to him, and if the game comes to him, then he's going to be very effective. But he doesn't know how to organically activate his game, and it's like
he did 3 or 4 years ago.
He did, but I don't know. He aged, like enthusiastically wise, a lot in the last few years. Like just the zest, that natural zest. Like he's waiting for the ball to come to him so he can do his thing. And it's like, hey man, nobody's letting you do your thing. You have to just do that shit, or else
That's what staying at Spurs for too long will do to a man.
Yeah,
It'll
the
just
problem.
destroy your love for the game.
Damn.
Yeah, the problem for him is that he plays in the part of the pitch where you can't wait. Like that's you. Your job is to, pull the strings and make.
You're the protagonist.
Yeah, you're the protagonist. You can't be like waiting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, I don't think he's a every game player, because he's not the type of player to play 10 games in a row and give everything. So the way, like, they start in one game and not the other game, you might get the best results out of him now, because then he'll have the energy from that he stored from not playing in one game, from only half playing in one game. He can play a full game the next game that he does play. But yes, it's a mysterious case of what happened to Dele Alli.
Going back to Conte, though, like he looks like he's actually turned Harry Kane back into a striker. Like he's getting him in the box now. He scored 3 and 3. He could have had more against Liverpool. He could have had more today. Could have had more against Palace as well. Like he's actually getting in the right positions again now, which is, I mean, good as an England fan. I didn't want to see it today really, but like him playing in a front two with Son or with more, or in a front three with more in the 3-4-3 when they sort of did that, like it looks a lot more better for them going forward. And that he's trying to do what Chelsea do with the wing backs with Regulion and Emerson as well, Emerson Royale. Like he's starting to get them into high areas of the pitch now too.
Right. Listen, if Conte can make Eric Dyer look decent, Davison Sanchez look decent, Davis look decent, there's no way he's not going to make Kane like come up and get back to Kane. So I'd give him Winks. The last few weeks or last few games has been pretty impressive. He was very effective against, was it Liverpool?
Yeah, he was great against Liverpool.
And then he was effective today. Like that goal that got called offside by Kane, that was a Winks pass, and I don't think that was offside. You're a Southampton fan. You don't even think it was offside. It's like, yeah, it's like, that was super tight, man.
I mean, sorry, 100% offside. That's what I meant to say. Never a goal.
Hilarious. But your thoughts on Conte, Neil, your ex-coach?
I've actually tried to avoid watching them a lot.
Why?
But because it just didn't seem like a lot of these games. I saw part of the.
You spy on all your other exes. Why not Conte?
I spy on exes who probably still have a chance of getting back.
Getting back with you, right?
And I definitely don't spy on exes who fucking sued the club and took them to court.
Yeah.
And then join Spurs.
Yeah. To quote Mourinho, he said this once. All love stories are over when you join a rival. And he was actually saying that as Chelsea manager, speaking about Frank Lampard on loan to Manchester City.
First of all, never quote Mourinho. The time to quote Mourinho has passed.
No, you can always quote him when you can use his own quotes against him, because he joined the biggest rival that is. So.
Right.
Yeah, but no, I think this is the progression. As Lee said, that he's moving them in the right direction, and this is all he can do. Like it isn't miraculously going to become a title contending team with what he has available at Spurs. So even I think Son and Kane are Lucas Moura, that front three I think is looking very threatening right now. He obviously needs he needs those wing backs. That I don't know if he needs more time with these wing backs or he needs better ones. But I really feel like he's getting the skeleton going, and he's getting the basics going for a pretty strong Spurs team next season, or even like the back end of this season.
Yeah, I mean, I like watching them. Like they play like a iPhone that's being broken. Like the way they spring into attack is sexy as fuck. It's fast. It's pretty lethal. Like those goals against Liverpool, and even the chances that they created today, and then the games before, like he's got them jailbreaking, and I'm like, they don't press, do they? Like, what's
They
their
pick their moments. They do at times,
right?
but they're like Conte's style has always been quite flexible in terms of he has the formation, but then like he can play a low block, he can press. Like it depends who they're playing. I think they're quite flexible.
Right. But I'm glad you guys made them drop points there, because they're right near us in the table. We're battling for fourth, so
Yeah.
I was happy that they dropped today. And plus, I want Southampton to be safe. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
appreciate.
Me too. I don't want to be on here next season giving you reports from the Championship. That would just.
That's something we've never had. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I hope we never have it. Like that's I don't want to be doing that.
that's hilarious. So
I don't want to be like telling you about Barnsley away or things like that. Like
yeah, that's my job when I look at some Chelsea loanee somewhere. At Oldham Athletic.
the lone game yesterday was United versus Newcastle. And let me tell you something. When you're so excited to see something, and then you see it, and then you don't want to see anything that has to do with it afterwards. Like, I almost didn't get up this morning to watch any football. Like, that's how bad we played yesterday. Like, it completely destroyed my mood for football today. Like, only some of the results today, like, got me back into football. It made me not feel bad about our draw. Because, all right, okay, so even the good teams can drop points, or even the teams ahead of us can drop some points. And it's not, everything is not such a give me. Like, I know Newcastle, like, stocked the middle of the pitch like a bar. We're getting ready to open on opening day. I think they had every player in that midfield. I know that we haven't played in a while. Like, yes, we've been off, but we haven't had like these full practices. It's been like a lot of videos that have been sent to people, and then it's been a lot of our like people training and working out at home. I think we only had like one full real practice, so we don't have this system in our DNA yet. And
also, you are unlucky because Joe Linton he turns up like once every 10 games, and this week was one of those games.
Well, he showed up the game before when they got knocked down to 10 men, and that's where their coach got the idea to play him in midfield. And then that's his position. He's not a finisher. He's not a finisher, but he's a footballer.
Yeah.
And
he looked like St. Maximum had been teaching him step overs before that game or something.
Yeah. He's such a big guy to be moving like that. And I think that position gives him more energy than when he plays forward. Like, if he used that energy as a forward, he'd have more goals. It's just so crazy. But yeah, those fans, they brought it, and Newcastle, they brought it. They haven't been playing like this. And that's the thing. It's like, and then we're just out of sync. We haven't played in like 2 weeks, and we haven't played like a competitive game. It's almost this is kind of like a preseason with a brand new system game for us. So I'm not gonna like go hard. Just that we do have to get our attitudes together mentally. Like, we have to play harder for each other. We just gotta stop bitching. Like, the Bruno Fernandes, love him, but it's just a lot of like hissy fits. And Ronaldo too. He kicked out at one player. I was like, man, you almost brought us down to like a 10-man. That was crazy. And then they walked off the field afterwards without applauding the away fans. And it's just like, I feel like our dressing room, there's a lot of stuff going on backstage. I feel like we're always playing favorites. Like, again, Maguire, even though we haven't played in a while, shouldn't be captain. He should have to earn captain, and why not Van de Beek? Why let Van de Beek make some mistakes? Why does it have to be Fred and McTominay are the only people that can make some mistakes? Like, let's spread the mistakes around. Like, like I want to see Van de Beek grow through his mistakes too. It's like, come on, like play him like back there. He, this is pretty bananas to go through another
Yeah.
coach and still him not get that playing time. Is I hope Ragnick has plans to play him on Thursday or something, but that's befuddling. And then, hey man, let's just admit it: Rashford is off. His decision making is non-existent, and when it is existent, it's bad. It's just he just gives the ball away, and we just need to put the ball retainers on the pitch. And but again, I'm not gonna go hard, but because it's a new system and everybody has to learn. But yeah, Rashford is giving the ball away a lot and not making good decisions. But give it time.
I think he needs time.
Yeah.
This I remember, like when it was still Carrick and Chelsea played United. You could see like there were some instructions to go there and press, but the players just didn't know how to do it because they haven't. That's not been their style of play for so long now.
It's such a specific system as well.
Yeah.
Like, thing is, like Conte can come into Spurs and play 3-5-2 or 3-4-3, and players will have played it somewhere else. Whereas you come in and start playing 4-2-2-2, most players won't have ever experienced it, and the demands of it and the intricacies of it.
Yeah.
I hope you're right about that, because we looked. It was
I actually really like that system. I feel it's a very balanced formation, and if you have the right players, it can really be a very dominant, makings of a very dominant team. But yeah, the players just need to know how to play. That's play a really press from the front, and you press pretty much together as a team. Like it was so like the spaces between. So when you have these different flanks, it only works if there isn't big gaps between those spaces, and that was happening all the time in the Newcastle game.
Yeah, the crazy thing is we didn't have control over the game, which Ragnar says, but we did have 70% of the ball. And I'm like, this percentage guy must be hungover from Christmas. Like whoever's doing the like, how is that's not the game I saw. I did not see Man United 70% of the ball. I saw us give the ball away 70% of the time that we had it, but I did not see. So I'm like, I'm just looking at that stat like, what the who? Like,
that was something I saw like multiple people mentioning, though. It was just the real lack of quality and possession in that game.
Yeah.
Like so many different people were saying it. I'm like, oh shit. Like, because I wasn't watching it at the time. I was like, this must be true if this many people are saying it. Like, this many people can see it.
Yeah, they treated the ball like they were at home on Christmas morning and giving out gifts. They just to their family. They gave away the ball more in that game than they've given gifts in their whole lifetime. It's like, chill, hold on to this thing. Yeah, but we'll see. Any other game of notes before we go into like just the overall ending of the year? Man City, Leicester, Liverpool today.
Yeah, that was a fun game. Leicester
game.
played like it was their season final or something.
Yeah, so
all hands on deck.
I think
Klopp can't moan about the teams as well when Leicester had two midfielders at centre back.
Yeah, like they only had one real defender.
Yeah,
it was a right back or something, or a left back.
Thomas.
Yeah, I think
and Castagna. They're both the fullbacks are both defenders.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Amarte is even in his position, he's a backup to a backup practically these days.
Midfielder.
Yeah,
playing.
So,
yeah,
I think
Rodgers told him this is the FA Cup final.
Yeah, I mean, Rodgers has to do something. Like he must be feeling like, okay, did I really miss my boat to jump? Like, did I really miss my chance to get that next job? Because now a lot of these teams have got new managers, so he can't just keep finishing 9th or 10th. That's actually his status is essentially going down. So he at least needs to get some of these big scalps.
I mean, people say he choked and didn't finish 4th 2 years in a row. but I think he overachieved and finished 5th. And
I mean, that's true, but
shame is if he finishes 5th or lower than that, nobody's going to see it that way.
mm,
And there's no defense. Everybody's injured. Even Soyuncu, who's been a terrible defender, it might have been a blessing in disguise for him to be injured today. But to take it to Liverpool like that, they had good chances themselves. They could have scored more. And man.
Yeah, that penalty miss was big.
Oh yeah. You know what? As soon as he ran up to the ball, I was like, oh, because they showed it from an angle from behind the kicker.
Yeah.
And I could see the save happening. And then I also felt it shouldn't have been a penalty. Yes, there was contact, but let me tell you something. Salah acted like there was a pool in front of him and he had on like bikini shorts and he jumped into that shit. And I was like, this is embellishment to the fullest. It's legal embellishment, but I said this does not deserve to go in the back of the net. And then once Schmeichel saved that goal, that got the crowd into it, and it just changed the whole game and the energy.
I don't understand how he missed the follow-up though, because I can understand the penalty. You know, you can always miss a penalty.
I think it was a bit too high for him. He couldn't really get over the ball.
Yeah, like he could. I mean, I don't think he timed his jump right. Like he was probably still shell shocked by the fact that he never misses a penalty, and he finally missed one. Like he mistimed his jump. He couldn't get enough power. He couldn't get direction. So
he has a right-footed header, not a left-footed header. That's his problem.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Lee first. What are some of the biggest moments to you of 2021 football? Just any league, Premier League, just anything.
I think the for me, the two moments. One of them I just need to check whether it was actually 2021 because this year has just been.
That's weird. This is the year
so
without
for me
this is 2.5 years rolled into one.
Yeah, this is the without COVID that had COVID.
The Super League breakaway was a big moment for me because
that was this year. That was this.
That was this year, yeah, because that was under
did that
Tuchel.
Shit to us when we had COVID.
That's why I had
that was this year. That was this year.
That's why I had to check. I was like, was that this year?
Yeah, that's February or March.
Damn.
But that was for me, that was just so unprecedented for that to happen and for the way it happened. I mean, we covered it at the time as well. But for me, that was just pretty crazy in terms of how brazen it was and how sort of just fuck all you other people, we're doing this kind of thing. And then it was nice to see everyone else unite and fight back against it and kill it. I still don't think UEFA are the best organization, but you kind of stuck with them unless everyone decides to bin them. It's got to be all or nothing. It can't be just a bunch of clubs doing whatever the hell they want for their own self-interest. That's not the one. But for me it was that and the Euros as well. The Euros was just a crazy few weeks, really. Just the whole nation swept up in it, or the world really, I think, got involved in it. And then in true England fashion, we fucked it. So.
We Englanded it. We definitely Englanded it. We losing on penalty. Have we ever really got knocked out of a tournament legitimately? Maybe once, but every time it's a red card or it's penalties or a handball that's with no VAR that they say is
we hadn't done that for a little while as well, so it felt like a real throwback. This is classic England losing on penalties.
Right. Yeah, I did love the Euros, and it was something to look forward to, especially coming out of COVID. And the second game was the heart attack with and that really put a damper on things. But then he got better, and then things started to pick back up. England. It was the end of the world when England drew with Scotland, and then all of a sudden we bounced back. and then we got to I think the semifinals, and the game against Denmark. Was it Denmark or Norway?
Denmark.
Denmark, and then
beating Germany before that was big as well.
Beating Germany, yeah, so many big moments, yeah. And then the first goal against Germany, and the way we scored it, I was like, oh, we could win this easy.
Yeah.
Like, did you all feel that once that goal went in? It's like, oh, this is easy. And then Southgate.
I mean, there was a period of time where I think Declan Rice was having like, you're not playing like England. You're playing kind of like a Pep Guardiola team.
Yeah. You last week when you wasn't here, me and Neil were trying to describe what Declan Rice is turning into. But I figured, you know what he is? He's white Yaya Toure. Like I said, content before, but he's so box to box like Yaya Toure, and he's taking these shots. But he's
I think he needs to get a few of these in before we can Toure him. Well, I think for now he's probably more Conte than Toure.
Yeah, but he's gonna evolve from a Conte to Yaya Toure. But he keeps it African. Style of play.
But like even the first goal against Italy in the final as well, when we moved that ball, like switched it across to Kane, and then he's played across the shore and the finish.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit, is this going to be our day?
Yeah, I was like, this is over. And then like what Neil was saying about Declan Rice start turning into an African Brazilian player in the middle of the pitch. I was like, oh, everybody felt comfortable.
Yeah, it was comfortable. I think that was the thing.
I said, they're not going to be able to deal with this.
Yeah.
And then we just put our brakes on us, man.
We needed that game to be 90 minutes straight through. Like halftime killed us. Mancini was smart. He got the players in. He made some little adjustments.
Right.
And halftime just killed our momentum as well.
Yeah, because we wouldn't put the subs in. You know, we just wouldn't subs in that would hold the ball and attack. We just tried to shell up, you know. And it's just like, hey man, we should have went more pep in the second half than we did.
That was a great. The entire tournament, I feel that was one of the most fun Euros in a while.
Yeah. Like because we missed a year, right?
Yeah.
It's meant to be 2020.
Yeah.
Like the Spain and the revival of Spain and Italy as footballing powerhouses. I think that was really fun to see.
The Italy-Spain game was such high quality as well. That was a really fun one to watch.
Yeah,
man. Like, and just looking at the possibilities of Spain through Barcelona and seeing their young players now. When I watch the Barcelona games, like,
Gavi scored today.
So what?
Gavi scored today.
Today, Spain, they played today.
Was it today or for Barca?
Like midweek.
He's the youngest goal.
Before Christmas, yeah.
Okay.
It was before Christmas, but everybody was talking about Pedri. Gavi just came out of nowhere, and then he was playing good, and then they lost the game, and then Xavi gave this speech about we have to do better, which I felt sounded generic, and we're going to start from the beginning. And it sounded like a Solskjaer speech. But then after that, the games that Gavi has been playing, he's not only technically gifted, but he will bite the shit out of you. Like, he is ferocious. He's tackling. It's like he's on some. He's a combination of Gattuso and Iniesta right now, the way he's playing. I don't even know where Pedri's going to get in. Like, if Pedri comes back, Fati comes back, Spain is going to be back. They're still going to need a forward, but...
We've got less than a year now until the World Cup.
Damn. It's next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be next. It's going to be next. I think it starts...
December.
Does it start in November or December? I think it might start mid-November.
Yeah, they might have to leave sometime in November, yeah.
So that's going to be the greatest Christmas end of year ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be bananas.
Yeah, I think the final is like a week before Christmas. or like a couple of weeks before Christmas.
Really?
So not, I think the final's on like the 16th or 17th of December, maybe.
Damn.
That's crazy.
All right, I guess I'll hold off on my suicide.
Yeah, you're right. November 21st is the first game. So yeah, it should be about
Let me have a
4
look.
weeks.
18th of December is so it's a week before Christmas. The 18th of December is the final.
Oh damn, that's gonna be
Crazy.
That's dope. Look, I'm gonna ask Nick. So what do you? So I forgot about the Super League, right?
Yeah.
But I was gonna say the craziest moment in football was Messi leaving Barcelona and just how the whole thing unfolded.
Yeah.
But I forgot about the Super League. But even though you did bring it up now, because the Super League actually didn't happen, and the Messi thing did, to me, on the level, just because it's like two impossible things.
But they're also linked. They're also linked. I mean, the fact that I think Messi doesn't leave Barcelona if the Super League happens.
Yeah.
Because Barcelona's debt, their finances were tied in to whatever they're expecting from the treasure they're expecting from the Super League. That doesn't happen.
Right.
And then essentially the fans in England caused the Messi transfer.
And that's funny. But also Messi caused the Super League because Barcelona,
By taking all that money?
by them knowing that they financially couldn't afford him, made them push this thing to try to keep him, to get the money to try to keep him. So the Super League on the low might be the cause of it. Not that he played any part in it, is because we're Barcelona, we're out of money, we're over the cap. How do we keep Messi? We've had this idea. Let's push it right now and try to get it across so we could keep him. This is like one of their last-ditch efforts. But yeah, I thought
disappointed he didn't go to City, because Messi versus Ronaldo in the same city would have been fun.
Oh, that would have been
in the same league.
It would have been sad because it would have been such a, with where United is, it would have been such a mismatch. You would actually have to walk away with Ronaldo versus Messi arguments with nothing to say because, it's not Ronaldo's fault.
I'm not even acknowledging Messi at PSG though. It feels like he's retired.
I mean, he's got one goal or something crazy low stat like that, and it's
against Man City as well.
I mean, he strolls on the pitch like he doesn't know he's in the middle of a game.
Yeah. That is actually, I mean, I know, Lee, what you're saying, that you're not acknowledging the fact that, what's going on there. But I want to at least keep a little bit of an eye, because this is the first time you're seeing Messi outside his comfort zone. So,
I feel like he's heartbroken. I feel like he never wanted to leave Barcelona. And when he's I've never seen Messi have no desire. He played with love.
He's got one goal.
I know.
That is just crazy in the league.
And he's a Ballon d'Or winner.
In the same year.
In the same year.
Yeah.
So the difference to me is I hate this. I hate the fact that I'm here. I hate the fact that when you're heartbroken, you are not yourself.
And Herrera has scored more.
Like someone trying to have sex a few weeks after they've been widowed.
Yeah, he looks like he's rebounding with someone he knows he shouldn't be rebounding with.
It's all the guilt, he's not able to. He thought it'd be a good idea, but
yeah,
it's killing him.
Well, he looks like he knows. You ever have sex with someone you know you shouldn't have sex with? That's what every game looks like. Like, I shouldn't be doing this, but
maybe PSG catfished him.
I don't know.
We're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then he got there. He's like, "This isn't what you told me it would be."
Luis Suarez tried to make an excuse for him. He's like, "Yeah, Messi hates to play in the cold." I was like, "Man, I know you really love Messi, but that's lame." That means you're acknowledging that he's doing terrible over there. But hopefully, I don't know. I don't want to see Messi go out lame. So
No.
hopefully he'll get it back.
The thing is, like in the Messi Ronaldo like whole thing, like
Mhm.
I've always been more team Messi.
Me
but
too.
it's this whole thing is definitely like it's moving the needle a little bit.
Right. I mean, this ain't working out for anybody. Look at Man United and Ronaldo now. I feel like that was another big moment. Like
Yeah.
we got him, getting him. Like I didn't want him before we got him, and like because I felt like we didn't need him. I wanted to see Greenwood develop. We already had Cavani, and we had Rashford, we had Martial, and I feel like, and we just bought homeboy from Dortmund, and I felt like Sancho was just overloaded, and it's just going to hold back development. But you know, just looking at how Man United fans in England were reacting online, I was like, I was like, damn, this is really
You get caught up in it.
affecting people. I was empathetic towards them, and I was like, they were gonna start hating this guy that they were in love with. And I didn't want to see that. And then when they got him, the elation of everybody getting him, and like that's why love is so emotional. It's not a brain act.
He has still come up big in multiple moments, though. He has like it's not been a real flop of the transfer. It's not been as good as you'd like it to be, but I think that's because of the team in general, not because of him. Like he's been playing like, you know, I think he's had some bad games, but he's also, like I say, he's been a match winner on multiple occasions, which is more than Messi has been at PSG this season. So
can I make a crazy comparison? Like Ollie did better with Dan James than Ronaldo. It's like when he had Dan James, we were winning. We get Ronaldo, we get rid of Dan James. The team structure kind of falls apart because you're playing favorites, and then you don't want to make tough calls. And like at least Ollie used to make the tough call sometimes of actually playing Dan James. That's a tough call to make. You know how much
to play him.
He played him at like Man City away and you won.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like every time you put Dan James on the starting sheet, there's fans going, "What are you doing?" And then Dan James ain't gonna score. Like what Dan James gives you, you're not gonna be able to even quantify it with any type of calculator. You because everything is calculated in XG, assists, goals. Like Dan James running towards somebody at Dan James speed and making that person make an errant pass does not.
I think that's my prediction for 2022, that we're gonna have a new stat that somehow they figure out a way to do X space created.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. Like there's players out there that are not getting the credit. And listen, Ali was a better coach with Dan James than with Ronaldo.
Still working out for Dan James at Leeds though, or anyone at Leeds right now for that.
Right. So it's not work. That's on Bielsa. Like you're figured out. You got to adjust and make adjustments. Neil, what you got for the best moments?
I think I know what Neil's is going to be.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I think that entire run actually. Like if I have to just pick up one moment, it'd be the goal, like the last goal in the semi-final second leg versus Real Madrid, because that was like, the amount of control we played. I actually don't remember the last time Chelsea played a game of that control against a top team. Like I've been trying to think, like even going back to the Conte and the Mourinho years, like against a top team, like we literally absolutely shut them out, gave them no chance, and we could have scored more, but we scored to that last moment of Conte, Pulisic, Havertz, and Mason Mount scoring. It's a culmination of a lot of things. This new team that has been trying to. It's built on big signings and the players coming through from the academy. I think that was a perfect snapshot of that. And
because I thought after the first leg that Real Madrid were going to throw the kitchen sink at you and they were going to really come and try.
Yeah, because they got a lifeline in the first leg.
Yeah.
So
that was so impressive.
Who was their coach last year? I forgot. I just feel like.
Not sure. Was it Zidane?
Nah.
Zidane, yeah.
Yeah, it was Zidane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a weakened Real Madrid team. Now they're rejuvenated, but yeah.
So and then of course the final was against Guardiola, beating Man City.
Masterclass.
Tactical masterclass. And I remember this moment before the game. There was Rio Ferdinand did an interview with Guardiola, and he asked him a question. Why do you think Chelsea and Tuchel are playing so good? And he gave this pretty detailed answer in took a minute or so. He talked about how the wing backs play so wide, and when Chelsea fans heard that, they're like, "Holy fuck! This guy's got us completely figured out. What are we gonna do?" And then the final. Now in hindsight, that's become a meme. The fact that he actually said that, but it really did look like we are gonna this time. Man City are not gonna miss. They've been trying to. It's been 10 years now of this ownership trying to win the Champions League, and this is the closest they've got. But it was a great moment, and also I think for a lot of Chelsea fans, like me in the pub, fans who were at Porto, this was one of the first opportunities they got to actually watch a game together after the 2 years of being in isolation. So the fact that it happened with the European Cup win is just amazing.
Yeah, because there was a lot of debate on where the game would be and who could travel and things like that. It was still pretty crazy around then, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were going to play it in England, right? This was like, fuck it, it's 2 English teams, just play it in England.
Yeah, it's like playing at Wembley.
Actually meant to be Turkey?
Istanbul, yes.
Yeah.
Damn, I had a question. Let me see if I can remember this question. First, I got to remember who I was going to direct it.
I will also say honorable mention to the Chelsea women's team for winning a domestic quadruple, and reaching the Women's Champions League final, where they got absolutely thumped.
By who?
Barcelona. 4-0.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I think they were 4-0 up in 20 minutes, something like that.
Yeah,
La Masia women.
Yeah. So, but domestic quadruple, they completely swept everything that there was to win. Emma Hayes, she's been doing great work.
Yeah, I mean, domestic quadruple. I mean, Pep Guardiola has never been able to do it. Oh, Jesus!
So,
how dare you?
Even though he's been winning the League Cup and the league almost every year.
It's like I'm saying this in the terms when Mourinho tried to say United won 3 cups.
No. But in this case,
and one was
of
charity
those.
shield.
No. But in this case, one of them is the Premier League.
Yeah. But what was it? The League Cup?
No. It was their league, the FA Cup, their version of the League Cup.
Exactly.
And
that's the one I'm against.
And the Community Shield. So.
And the community. Oh my gosh! I'm against 2 of those.
But how else you're not gonna have 4? The only way you get to a quadruple is by winning these. You're not gonna have 2 leagues in the same season.
No, you could win a quadruple. It's not a quadruple then.
It is a domestic quadruple. That's everything. You're winning everything that is there to win.
Listen, man, you're from Chelsea. You have a standard. You cannot count the Charity Shield as. Thank you.
No, actually, no Chelsea manager has been able to do that.
And none
it's a glorified friendly.
And none has, because it doesn't count.
I know it doesn't count. I'm not saying that's the only thing they did, but I'm saying they pretty much swept the board. They took care of everything domestically.
Yeah. It doesn't count on the trophy count at all.
Yeah.
You don't want to end your career saying, man,
no, but
I won a Charity Shield one time, and that's the only thing I won.
yeah, I mean, luckily for Emma Hayes, she's been winning a lot. I think
She American or English?
she's English, but
She's
she's got a
English, but
big, she's got a big
she
background
coached,
in America. Yeah.
yeah, she
sorry,
coached
say
in
again?
Chicago for a while, and I think possibly in California. I can't remember, but she's definitely in Chicago.
I think that's where she started her coaching journey.
Yeah, that was when like the US sort of women's football
Fell
was
apart.
like the pinnacle. I mean, it still is probably the strongest.
Okay.
But I think club-wise, I think the US are probably still the strongest national team, but I think club football-wise,
It's changing now.
It's England.
the investment from the Premier League teams has skyrocketed
Right.
the whole sort of landscape in this country. But you know what you see when like Chelsea play Wolfsburg, they're still a little bit like the Germans, like Bayern and Wolfsburg are both like really top teams. Juventus look good as well. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously Barca, just ridiculous.
Yeah. I got to see some of those Barca women games. I want to see if their style is similar and what those women
Well,
got.
a good thing now is like all the Women's Champions League games are available free on YouTube, like live. I think they got they got
I'll check those out.
at least here. What's that company? I think it's a Canadian company, DAZN.
The Zone, yeah.
The Zone, yeah.
What day do they play on?
I mean, I think it's around the same time as
So
it's a week here and there.
So they play on a better day than Spurs was playing, you're saying?
I will have to look that up, but I think they play on the Thursdays. So
yeah, I think the Champions League has just gone to the knockout stages because Chelsea didn't qualify.
Chelsea didn't qualify. They got knocked out in the last.
Ooh,
they had an easy thing to do on the last day, and they got knocked out.
Yeah, they bottled it against Juventus, which was the big game.
Wolfsburg. Yeah, they bottled it against Juventus.
The draw against Juventus killed them.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was gonna ask. So Neil, what questions you want to ask from the best of list that you got?
So
I left my phone downstairs.
I don't know how much time we have to get through these, but yeah, basically I was gonna say, like, if you guys wanna. So we already went over a lot of these moments, right? But maybe some of these can go. Do you want to do best game?
That's tough. That's
tough. There's a lot of good games.
All right, you guys go first, and I'll steal your answer. There's a lot of good games, man. Like so many, I can't even pinpoint it. I just so many times I'm in my living room going, "This is crazy." You got any that comes to mind, you two?
I think in terms of quality for me, like they weren't necessarily the highest scoring games, but we've already spoken about both of them. The Spain-Italy semi-final. For me was just like really interesting to watch, and the Champions League final, just because it was fascinating watching Tuchel just get everything right in terms of the way he set them up. Like they shut down all the spaces that City wanted to operate in, and then the way they broke for the goal was I thought those two games, just from a tactical point of view and a quality point of view, they weren't obviously high scoring, but I think there's a difference between entertainment and quality. And those two games for me were two of the highest quality games I've seen in a long time.
What you got, Neil? Best games? And I know you're going to say the final, Champions League final. Good, we can't hear him, so you can't say it.
Oh, can you not hear me?
Now we can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but something's up in my internet.
Yeah, internet's tripping today.
But I mean, Lee's already covered the Champions League final, so I'm not gonna say that. But I think the City Liverpool game this season was pretty high quality, even though it was kind of lopsided because Liverpool didn't turn up in the first half at all, and it was still 0-0. But then that second half, I think, was both Klopp and Pep at their best, and a 2-2 draw. I think there was top of the table 2-2 draw. I think that was a really high quality game throughout the game. And Salah scored one of, I think, the goals of the season, goals of the year. So that's an extra topping for that game.
I don't think I'll have an answer to this until after the podcast. Under pressure, I can't come up with nothing. To be honest, I just know.
How
I
about
seen
the game, the best game, from your point of view, the game that got Oli sacked, like in the long run?
Nah, that was coming. That was coming. That was coming. I mean, one of our best games was that this year, 2-0 against City, when Shaw scored. Was that this season?
I think that was. I think it was this year. I think it was the
But
back
last
end of
season.
last season.
Yeah.
I think it was in the second half of last season. Let me have a look. But yeah, like that was tactically one of the few games that Ollie got right.
Yeah. No, it wasn't few. He got a lot of games right, man. We came third, second, and we came fourth, third, and second. He got a lot of shit right, man. He beat Chelsea. Ollie got some shit right. I know a lot of Man U games were like
March this year was that game.
Yeah. That was euphoric to see that. Like it started out with a penalty, I think.
Yeah, Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno. We just at the kickoff, we got the kickoff and we just lobbed it right into the City penalty area, and then we pressed them. And then we won it back, and then we got fouled, and then we just held up until we broke on them. Their style.
Yeah, that short goal was a thing of beauty, just running the whole left side, playing the 1-2, and then the finish.
Yeah, what's his name? Kyle Walker come in to try to get the ball too soon, got turned, whole side exposed. But yeah, what else you got on that list, Neil? I know you got some like players.
I wanted to go over best player in each zone, like instead of just doing a best player overall, where we try to have to compare a defender with Lewandowski, and the defense like, well, I can't score goals. What can I do? Just still look at me. So I was gonna do best forward, best midfielder, best defender, best keeper.
That's still tough. It makes it a little easier, but still tough. So go which one first?
So best forward.
So now, are we talking nines or both nines and tens?
Both nines and tens.
Both nines and tens.
Nines are like, the wingers. Wingers are forwards.
Yeah, because what is Salah? He's a winger, but he wears 10. He doesn't even wear 10. What does he wear?
He doesn't wear 10, but yeah, he's a forward.
I wouldn't class him as a midfielder though. Yeah.
He's a forward.
He's a winger,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Let's see. So what you guys got? This feels like a tested school.
Well, we can just brainstorm.
The top one's got to be between like Salah and Lewandowski, just for sheer consistency on both their parts. And I think Lukaku deserves a mention as well, though, for firing Inter to a title, for scoring goals for Belgium at the Euros, and then like
Mbappe.
When he's fit, he's been doing a good job for Chelsea as well.
Well, let me ask you this: who do you think is better, Mbappe or Lukaku?
Two different players for me.
Yeah.
But they're both.
We're
talking forwards, right? So we have to choose. One has to go so that we have a better understanding of who is actually the best of the rest of that's left.
It depends how you're playing and what system you're playing, though, because they're two, like I said, they're two very different players. Like, Mbappe's not a 9.
But neither is Salah, but he's in this conversation.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's just on the other side of the field as Salah.
But for me, Salah and Lewandowski are above those. They're above Lukaku and Mbappe.
I don't think Lewandowski's above. Okay, maybe, but I still say Mbappe is in a group ahead of Lukaku. And Lukaku has to get into the Mbappe conversation. And then Mbappe probably has to get into the Salah, Lewandowski conversation.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know?
Yeah, I think
I'm just saying for what he did for his teams over the course of that year, Lukaku made a big contribution.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think I don't want to give it to him on his first year of doing what he was supposed to have been doing. like last year or a part of this year and last season he turned into his potential, and it's not good enough for like a guy that's won multiple French leagues. I know people want to diss the French league and the World Cup too.
He didn't even win the French league.
Well, not this season, but he's won it. You know,
This year, yeah, he won
Yeah.
barely anything this year.
yeah, he didn't win anything this year.
He won like a French League Cup or something.
So
I
we're-
actually want to mention even Benzema for this season, for this year,
Yeah.
calendar year.
He's been
'cause
unreal. Yeah.
He's been unreal in both last season and
this
this season.
Jesus.
And he's probably the only reason why Madrid even made the semi-finals of the Champions League. So he's had some
He's just
strong
an elite
performance.
level finisher.
yeah, he is. He's on one. What category do you put him in?
Forward, yeah.
Yeah, he's
No, but-
100%.
But like, you know how
I think I put him absolutely top 2 or 3. I think
Top
he's in
2.
that. Yeah,
okay. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
for me,
This
he's
is the problem with these debates. These ones can run and run.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with any of those. I mean,
Yeah.
what about Ronaldo? Because you still have to count, and Messi, you still have to count what they did in the beginning of the year and how many goals.
Messi
And
won a Copa America,
Yeah.
finally.
But I feel like what Messi's like the half of this year is at PSG, and that I think like if you can't go missing complete half year and still be in the conversation.
I mean, you can say Lukaku.
The difference between us and the Ballon d'Or panel.
Yeah. It's hilarious. But you could say Lukaku hasn't been around.
Yeah,
this
I think that's why
season
even
at
I
all.
wouldn't put Lukaku that far high up, but at least
Yeah.
Lukaku. I think what Lukaku won for Inter was far tougher than Messi winning the Copa America. So
Yeah.
and Messi
Isn't
actually.
his first title in a while.
Yeah,
Messi-
I think that's big only because Messi, like, he's finally got one across the line.
Messi-
But if you look at it like if you look at it from a outside perspective, I feel every of those tournaments, Argentina, Brazil start as the favorites, and finally they got one.
Listen, if you're gonna win Serie A title,
Yeah,
you're gonna win it in the year when Pirlo's the coach of Juventus. You know what I'm saying? He has no experience. You give him this job. He's got to work his way up. It's a perfect time to win, and you give it to Conte, who knows the league, played in it, won a string of victories with. I give him more credit for turning Ashley Young, who was done, into like a legit player that can still play now.
yeah,
What about, you had best midfielder on there?
yeah. So are we saying Lewandowski, Salah, Benzema, top 3?
I feel like we're
Are we
missing
putting
somebody.
someone? Are you
I still
missing
put-
somebody?
I still put
Huh?
Messi in there, but I would see why by Benzema.
There's too many. It's so hard to narrow down.
But
Yeah.
like these 3 have been consistent though,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
What's
Best
up?
midfielder.
I'm
It's got to be
cheating.
your boy Jorginho, hasn't it?
I'm cheating. I'm looking at this list that I Googled. You want me to tell you what this list says? 10, Tony Cruz. What? Why are you laughing, bro?
No, I love that how they start with 10. Like this 10 guys now we got to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna go through the list, and then number 9, Marco Verratti. Number 8, Paul Pogba.
Oh my God. Can we stop the list right now?
I mean, but they also considering him internationally, he's at least 8. Internationally. Club-wise, no.
Well, internationally, him losing the ball is what led to France getting knocked out of the Euros.
So I'm gonna push back on that because you know yesterday's goal against Newcastle, that goal Newcastle got, they
Yeah.
say
Varane.
Varane lost the ball, but
Mm.
he didn't stand a chance to keep that ball. Like, as soon as he touched it, he took it from somebody on one side of him, and then he got flanked immediately and robbed. It's just, I don't think you could stop that. And that pass to Pogba in that game, was it Switzerland? Like, he never even had it to lose it. Whoever passed it to him was under pressure and probably shouldn't have passed. He didn't even like control it and have it and then lose it. The person just, sometimes people just have the drop on you. So
no, I think he was having a great game up until that point.
Yeah, he scored a goal. He created other opportunities that people didn't put away.
But I still wouldn't like have him in a best midfielder discussion.
I mean,
is he even in the best midfielder discussion at United right now? He can't get in the team.
Yeah, have you seen our midfield? Absolutely. Yeah, Freddie McTominay. Yeah, old Matic. Yeah. But internationally, and they just won the Conference League this year, right?
Did they? Oh yeah, I think.
Yeah. Or whatever. What is it? What is that called?
Nations League.
Nations League. So he just won that. Sergio Busquets, 7. Frankie de Jong, 6.
It's probably a good shot.
This is a name I thought of before I even seen the list. Leon Goretzka. I rate this guy highly. Bruno Fernandes. Questionable to me now. Joshua.
He was pretty consistent for most of the year, though.
Yeah, he was. He was. Joshua Kimmich, 3. Number 2. So there's 2 left. What do you guys think these next 2 are?
Number 1's got to be James Ward-Prowse.
We didn't say number 1 Southampton midfielders. We're talking about number 1 world midfielders.
Best free kick taker in the world.
Hilarious.
That's kind of weird, because I would think all 3 of Kante, Jorginho, and Kevin De Bruyne get into that list. But if there's only 2 spots left, I'm not sure who's
so one
out.
of those is not on the list. So guess
one of them,
like actual performances, though. This sounds like, I like these players the most.
Yeah. I don't think this has been peer reviewed.
Well, look, there's stats on this list. Like, so for N'Golo Kante, 24 appearances, 0 goals, 2 assists, 86.5% pass success, and 2.6 tackles per game. And he's 2. And then you go to De Bruyne, 23 appearances, 6 goals, 12 assists, 8.17% pass success, and 1.4 key passes per game. They didn't even dare to put tackles down for Kevin De Bruyne.
So wait, so Jorginho,
even objectively, like Jorginho's had a much better year than De Jong.
I don't know. You ever seen De Jong?
I like De Jong as a player, I really do, but he's not fulfilled his potential this year at all.
Well, is it his fault, or is it Barca selling their team out from underneath this young player?
Either way, he's not done it, and either way, Jorginho, who a lot of people didn't rate at Chelsea, he stepped up and he was a key player in a Champions League win and a Euros win. So, and the guy,
but I think De Jong could do that on that team and better.
Yeah, I mean,
but he wasn't.
He hasn't,
didn't.
So.
I know, but
when he does, we'll call him.
I mean, you should call him. I'll tell you what his stats are.
There's players on that list who Mason Mount should be ahead of.
So what?
I think Mason Mount is probably, like, the way we play right now, and we play this year, probably is in the forwards section now.
Well, he's in a different list. He's on the
most of 2021. He's been a midfielder, though.
No. Like, ever since Tuchel came in, like, he's been playing in that 2 right behind Lukaku, or like Lukaku or whoever's the striker.
I sort of count this as 10s, though.
Well, there's a reason he's not on that list, but that's because he's on the 10 best attacking midfielders in the world.
So again,
they're breaking it down even more into midfielders, attacking midfielders, centre forwards, wingers. Like, they're going for the full thing. How long have we got?
I mean, not that long. But just in case you felt slighted by Mason Mount, so this same list does include him somewhere. I mean, but this list also has Aaron Ramsey number 10. So
I would still go for Kante for the calendar year.
Yeah.
he's missed. I think one thing you can hold against him is that he's missed a bunch of games due to injury this season. But whenever he's played, he's been the difference to the team. And I still keep going back to the fact that, best player on the pitch for semi-finals, both legs, final, one of the quarterfinals. It really doesn't get a more stronger resume than that.
By the way, this is the Sports Bible list, but this list was compiled by September. So.
Okay.
So yeah. What else you got on your phone?
Best defender.
Rudiger's got to be up there.
Yeah.
Rudiger's got a good shout. I think Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, Diaz has been superb at City.
Diaz
scoring goals now too.
Yeah. Actually, we forgot somebody in the best midfielders. I think Declan Rice.
Yes.
Could have.
Yeah. 100%.
Could have had a shot. Too.
He's in. They put him in this. Let me see if he's in this list.
Maybe there should be a different thing for up and comers.
Yeah, because I'd put Saka in there as well for the forwards.
Yeah.
Yes.
For up-and-comers. Like he's really breaking out this year.
Yeah. So defenders. Who are we talking? So Rudiger.
Let me see. I got to look up
Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, Ruben Diaz is definitely up there for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at in terms of if you classing fullbacks in that as well, you've got to look at Reece James has really stepped up this year, his game.
Yeah.
Trent's been a bit hit and miss for Liverpool.
No, he's back on. 100% back on.
Who, Trent?
Yeah. He's been
killing. He is now, but I think first half of the year he was poor.
Yeah. But
yeah, I mean, a lot of
Virgil Van Dyke.
Again, he's only just come back from injury. He's not really, in terms of 2021, he's not done that much.
Okay, maybe.
He's one of these easily. It depends whether you're talking about the year or who's one of the best in the world right now. Because he's one of the best in the world right now. But 2021, I wouldn't really give him much.
Yeah.
I would have put Rafael Varane in there until he got to Man United.
One for me, Cancelo.
Yeah, I think Cancelo's been amazing.
Well, his position is
for me the best fullback in the world right now.
Yeah, I think in terms of being the complete package, and also, I think he's among all of these guys. He's the guy who's hit his ceiling already. So we actually get to see the full version of Cancelo.
Yeah, he's keeping it consistent as well. Every week he's amazing.
I would say best attacking fullback.
He's deceptive. He can defend as well.
Yeah, I'm not saying he can't defend. It's just that the most of his plaudits right now is from attacking, the stuff that he's doing.
Yeah, that's the same with most wing-back or fullbacks, like Trent as well, and Reece James and people like that. Yeah.
I mean, Wan-Bissaka gets shit for just being a good defender.
He's not even that right now.
Yeah, I mean, the whole team was shit, but
yeah,
he's getting shit for just being a good defender. All he is a wingback that can defend. What is he going forward? So it's such a funny how everything has evolved or been evolved. What about Thiago Silva?
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, he's been pretty impressive for a 36, 37-year-old dude.
Is that Thiago Silva?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe how he's still because I think we've had a few injuries, so now he's having to play every game. I don't know how he's doing it. He's and taking flights to Brazil in the middle of all that.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Who else y'all got? There's some dude. What about the Austrian guy who's now at Real Madrid from Bayern. He's doing good over there. And also, there's this kid, I think it's Militao for Real Madrid.
Eder Militao, yeah.
Neither have been like amazing though. Like for me, like two people that are underrated, well, not really underrated, but I mean, if you class him as a defender, Davies at Bayern,
Alphonso Davies, yeah,
is amazing. And one who I think is really underrated is Jimenez at Atletico.
Oh, Jimenez, yeah. I think
like they won a league as well.
They won the league, yeah.
Yeah, and he was in that France team as well.
I agree with you on Davies, but Militao, it's the real deal. He's a real deal. You watch him.
I don't think we've seen it yet, though. Really?
No, I've seen it. I've been watching every game every week. I wouldn't even bring him up. And for they're at the top of the league, and he's been doing it defensively. Like you're not going to be at the top of the Spanish league without defending, because he's especially in a team that you expect to have no defense because they lost Ramos, they lost Varane, and they're at the top of the league. It has to be somebody there doing something, and he's a part of that. Like they lost 2 world-class defenders, and they're still at the top of the league. How is that? And they lost Ronaldo. They have to have a defense, and that dude is, and Danny Carvajal is not playing a lot of games, so it's him and David Alaba. And then I don't know what they injected into Cruz and goddamn Modric and Casemiro, but they're playing as if Zidane is still the coach from 2-3 years ago.
I would also look at somebody like the Bonucci Chiellini pair should get an honorable mention for what they did at the Euros.
Yeah.
So
I think the Euros added years to their life. It just injected like energy levels into them. Yeah. Like they had that Dele Alli zest. Like which one of them was at the coin toss? Like excited that there was more playing time. Which is crazy. You're supposed to feel the opposite way about that.
I think it was Chiellini who pulled back Saka on what could have been a pretty dangerous
red
break.
card.
Yeah,
that's the other defender I was thinking of. Let's look at Lucas Hernandez as well for Bayern in France.
Right.
Yeah, I think even Theo Hernandez, if you're looking at left backs at AC Milan.
Yeah, his brother.
Yeah.
Whose brother? That's his brother?
Lucas,
yeah, Theo and Lucas brothers.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Um,
Are they twins or just brothers?
Just brothers, I think.
Yeah.
So who are we going with top 3 defenders? Like in no specific order.
I think Rudiger and Ruben Diaz both got to be in there.
Yeah. I hate to say Rudiger because he's such a weird ass guy.
He's a whack job.
I've never seen since Luis Suarez had his weird phase, which was a long ass weird. I haven't seen somebody that weird. Like
I would say Diego Costa. Diego Costa was something like that.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like there are fans. What are you doing, Rudiger? Like everybody's staring at you.
Remember when he went for the titty grab on Pogba?
Yes.
Oh yeah. The last game versus Leicester.
And it gave him a hickey.
The game versus Leicester.
What did he do in that game?
No, sorry, the game versus Leeds. The game ended and there's a fight happening at the other end of the pitch. Rudiger comes running all the way across and he doesn't even know what's happening. Like who's fighting? Like he just picked the first guy and shoves him.
All of a sudden he knows Chelsea Leeds history.
So
he's a historian.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Diego Costa. Costa, I remember once we beat Man City 3-1 and he had been subbed up. So he was wearing a warm jacket up in the stand somewhere. And right at the end of the game, Sergio Aguero does a crazy foul on Fabregas and on David Luiz, and then everything everything breaks loose, and then there's a shot of Diego Costa running in all the way from the stands. Right? And he's like, okay, where's the fight? Like, who do I got to punch here?
And Conte got rid of that guy?
Yeah, that was one of the most bizarre things. Like Conte.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
A text as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, over text.
Yeah. He paid for that text though. The surcharge on sending that text out of your roaming system that cost him his job.
So are you saying Rudiger, Ruben Diaz, and Cancelo?
Yeah. And I would, the way Thiago Silva's playing now, I'll give him some. I'm trying to think of who else. None of the Man U defenders. Shaw was doing his thing, but yeah.
I think City and Chelsea have had the best defensive record over this calendar year.
What do you think of Reece and and Liverpool, some of their wing backs? And Virgil Van Dyke, Matip is good.
I think Reece has the fact that he's so versatile. He's also played as centre back and obviously full back before the manager change. I think he's very versatile, but I still don't think he's top 3 material yet. Yeah.
I don't know. Who else? Barcelona is trying to buy all your defenders.
I know.
They're
trying to get Aspie, yeah.
And they're trying to Christensen. Yeah. So watch your back. All your unsigned defenders might soon be Barcelona players.
Christensen had a good year too because he had a whole bunch of clean sheets with Denmark too, and they reached the semi-finals. So
he scored a goal for Denmark that they needed.
Yeah.
That was, I still don't believe he did that shit. That's like a top class Dutch forward goal.
And he never scores. Like he recently scored for us. That was his first goal for Chelsea in like 5 years.
Yeah. What else you got on your list of things? Best one.
So I think the last one is best keeper.
Good luck.
And I have only one nominee for this.
Kepper. I know what you're gonna say. You got Kepler.
We gotta do the worst stuff 2019 some other time.
Oh, man.
No, I think like you can't really argue with Mendy. Like Donnarumma has got to be up there for like he put in some big performances for Milan prior to that as well.
Right.
He was, the first half of the season for them, he helped them get back to where they need to be in Serie A, and then he was just a monster at the Euros. Mm-hmm. He's been playing quite well as well since then. But yeah, Mendy was just phenomenal.
Yeah. It's the goalkeeper you don't want to see.
Yeah. Alisson's still up there for me as well. I mean, he even scored a goal this year as well.
Yeah, Alisson and Henderson stay up there.
Yeah. Alisson, I think I would kind of question that, because when Liverpool is having that really terrible run at the beginning of the year,
his father died. You son of a bitch. Have some empathy.
I think over 2021 he's not been at the level that Mendy was at.
His father died. He's clearly recovering from the death of the person who birthed him and taught him how to be a goalkeeper.
I know, but I wish I could do something about that, but I can't.
There was clearly something wrong with him until they said it that time. So, that's what that is. But I think he's back now. He did make a mistake a few weeks ago that was pretty horrendous.
Although not quite as prolific as Mendy and Donnarumma this year, I think Courtois has still shown in a lot of games that he's one of the best in the world as well.
Yeah. And Lloris and All Black, and who does Bayern still has Neuer, and who does Atletico Madrid have?
All Black.
All Black, yeah. There's some good goalkeepers out there.
Yeah.
The thing with Donnarumma is he's Naves starts more than him. For
Yeah.
I feel for Naves. Like Naves is that guy who, no matter what he does, no matter what he's won, no matter, you're like, people still try to upgrade him. Like,
But, and they try to upgrade him and they don't even let him go. Like they still keep him around.
and then they
Pochettino prefers a keeper that can use their feet, though, and Navas is better with his feet than Donnarumma.
But he's also a great goalkeeper. Like,
yeah,
he saved them like a bunch of times, you know.
yeah.
You know, when those guys aren't moving up front.
Yeah.
And they
Also, if we were
the whole team walk through them and take shots.
Yeah. If we were just talking December, De Gea would be up there. He's been really boring.
I mean, this year, this season.
I think if you're doing like a best comeback,
Ramsdale.
I think De Gea would be there.
Yeah, that save when the ball rebounded out against Newcastle and they took the second shot and it was going like top corner, that was world class.
Yeah, he pulled a Ramsdale on that one. Yeah. Yeah, De Gea's had a good beginning of the season.
I think he's back to being a world-class goalkeeper. I don't think he was that for a period of time, but I think he's back to doing that because he's literally like saving United every game.
Yeah, man. I mean, to handle those back passes under pressure from Maguire on a regular basis, those are
hand grenades.
Yeah, basically, he took the pin out and then here. And I went, what? Did you just throw me a grenade with the pin out of it? And you held it for a few seconds so that there's less seconds for it to explode now. Jesus. That's pretty funny. Yeah. So
so we got Mendy, Donnarumma. Who's the third?
Mendy.
Edison.
Yeah.
Edison. Yeah. They've been pretty stingy in both Premier League and Champions League.
I would say as well that I've always been a little bit doubtful of him, but in the Euros, Pickford I thought was much more consistent for England than he has been in the past. But he's unlucky at Everton. He's got a terrible defence in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna lose that job to Ramsdale. Ramsdale will keep this up. You weren't there, Lee. Like right now, who'd you go with, Pickford or Ramsdale?
I mean, you have to go Ramsdale on form, but I think Pickford is still probably the better goalkeeper overall.
Oh yeah, why? So curiosity.
And I think he's unlucky that I think Pickford could be putting those performances in at Arsenal.
Think so?
Yeah.
Those saves that Ramsdale been pulling off?
Yeah, Pickford's got that in his locker, but I think Ramsdale's probably a better shot stopper, but Pickford's still got better distribution as well.
Yeah, Pickford?
It depends what's the bigger thing. But yeah, I mean, it's there's not anything in it really. And if Southgate started Ramsdale in the next game, I wouldn't have any arguments with it.
Right.
So
go ahead.
I was gonna just recap. So we got forwards, Lewandowski, Salah, Benzema. Midfielders. What did you do with midfielders? I think we had Conte, Jorginho. Who's the third?
No, I didn't have Jorginho.
But you didn't have Jorginho in.
No.
I thought Lee made such a impassionate plea for Jorginho.
What do you think, Lee?
He's key player for two big title teams.
You got to have him in the top three.
Well, look, can I just make an argument against Jorginho?
Yeah.
So I don't remember the name of this player, but he played for Arsenal. Now, remember that book that guy wrote about Arsenal, which was a world famous book? He was an Arsenal fan.
No.
They made movies about it. What is his name? And he's been a big writer. He's written a bunch of things. He even wrote a movie, a book, and Hugh Grant played the character.
But Fever Pitch?
Fever Pitch, right.
Nick
Hornsby. Yeah. And in his book, he mentions this player that played, I think, for Arsenal. And Arsenal were doing good at the time. So a bunch of Arsenal players got selected to play for England. And then this player, because there's an English player on Arsenal, also got selected to play for England. But then, so there's this syndrome where you're credited by association, but then later on, that player slid down through all the leagues of England. This player that played for England because he played with these players at Arsenal that played for England. And he ended up couldn't even get a starting job.
I don't think Jorginho is going to be in League Two anytime
no,
soon.
me neither. But I'm just saying.
He's gonna be in Verona.
There is, and I like Jorginho.
I think the reason why Jorginho,
but
he dictates games. He dictates the tempo. He controls the midfield, and he's done it for international and club.
All right.
I think the only problem with Jorginho is like that part of the pitch. We're just not used to seeing that kind of athlete. And
are you making fun of him when you say you call him an athlete?
No, well, no, but
that doesn't sound like an endorsement.
No, but I'm saying like he has one flaw, but the overall package of what he delivered this season, he figured out a way to work around those flaws, and he was actually influential in both those wins.
Yeah, I mean, so there's Jorginho, right? Name the other people. Let's see if he's on their level.
Messi was on there, wasn't he? I think.
That's crazy.
Or was he in the forwards?
Messi probably in the forwards.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
What's that list? The Conti?
I know what FIFA did. The FIFA had their own awards, the one before the Ballon d'Or, and that had Conte, Jorginho, De Bruyne. Actually, all three were the top three nominees for even Player of the Year, according to them.
I wouldn't argue with De Bruyne, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to argue with Jorginho either. I think he plays deeper, and it's just those players aren't appreciated as much. Like, only sometimes I can see how good Busquets is, and he's been good for a long time. But then there was this drill, like it's a pressing drill.
Was that the Spain one? The Rondo?
I think so.
He's in the middle of it and he's just popping passes off one touch.
And then I was like, oh, it just made me get Busquets again.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, I was talking to, I should have had him come on the podcast. I was talking to, Paleface.
Yeah.
Man, he comes on sometimes.
Yeah, Tony.
I don't know why my mind is blanking. But I even forgot why my mind is blanking. That's how much I'm blanking. But I mentioned, like, why didn't we use, like, Van de Beek yesterday? And he was like, because he's a wall and you bounce the ball off him, but you need something more or something like that. And I'm like, but isn't that what Busquets is? It's like, you mean we have a potential Busquets? I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Busquets, but he's got the starter kit. He's got the Busquets starter kit, and we out here messing around. 100%.
The thing is, like, as good as Busquets is, he would be lost if he was asked to play in that United team because of what's around him.
Yeah, maybe. Or he would link up better with Varane, or maybe he'd just get things started better. But I don't understand us not starting Van de Beek, but hopefully he'll get in some games. It's Christmas time. You got to use the thing. But it's tough to use.
Van de Beek's for life, not just for Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, I hope. I like him. Play with it. Free Woody Harrelson, man. Play him. Anything you guys want to end the year saying?
No, I'm glad our last game of the year wasn't a loss for Spurs.
Yeah, that's great for you guys. Like
we're thankful for that.
Yeah. When you looked at that end of year schedule, those two games, did you expect anything?
I thought we could maybe get something at West Ham just because they were having to change their team around so much.
Right.
Like, they had some injuries at the back. Antonio wasn't fully fit. He came off the bench at half time. So I thought we could definitely get something there if we played to our full potential. And we're lucky we came somewhere close to it in that game at times. But yeah, Spurs, I thought we would probably lose, but yeah.
Lee, you still have another game. You play Newcastle.
We have Newcastle, but that's on the 2nd of January, I think.
Oh, okay.
So technically not this year.
Who's playing tomorrow? There's somebody playing tomorrow, right?
We are playing tomorrow, so we
can't
even say
it tomorrow.
I don't even know.
Who are you going to drop points to tomorrow, Neil?
Brighton, apparently.
Brighton just won. So.
Yeah.
Trossard's goal was amazing in that game as well. That little chip.
Yeah.
Well,
not chip, both goals are really good.
Yeah. I think it was a pass from Wepa.
Yeah.
He looks very good as well.
Yeah, he's growing.
Man City play Brentford tomorrow. So
I feel for Brentford.
Yeah, I just feel sad, because I'm really not liking the look of the 6-point gap. So
I have 19 games left.
Yeah, but my idea was that the way to win against Man City this season is to build a gap over them before AFCON. Now, the absolute opposite has happened. So,
this is what I was going to say. You just reminded me.
Yeah.
So I know Man City's been scoring a lot of goals. But the moment they get knocked out of a round of Champions League, because in a game where they didn't score a goal or they needed a goal, everybody's still going to say they should have bought a striker. Like, Pep is escaping that now, and he's kind of been publicly making fun of the pundits. But the moment in, Man City might win. They might win the league. It's crazy. The league might be easier for them to win than a tournament.
No, I mean, even if you look at the fact that they've been playing without a striker, right? Look at the teams that they're going up against. Liverpool, even they don't have, Firmino isn't a classical number 9 either. Right?
Neither is Jota.
Yeah.
If you look at Chelsea, our number 9 has barely played. So it's not like they're really losing out and not playing a number 9, because their main competitors have also had the same issue.
I refuse to agree that Liverpool's front 3 isn't a front 3 just because it doesn't fit traditional terms. They're proven winners in Champions League and the league, and they came run up by 1 point in a crazy ass race.
But even Pep has that, right? He also has those players. I'm just saying the difference that was expected to happen with Man City not having a traditional number 9 is it's the same with the other teams too. So
can I tell you what the difference is? Nobody ever says Liverpool needs a 9 or a forward, but everybody says, at least at the beginning of the season, that nobody says, hey man, Liverpool needs a striker. But everybody on this panel and everywhere else has says at the beginning of the season that Man City needs a striker. That's why I disagree. You know what I mean? You guys needed a striker. You bought him, and he's been injured. But everybody still knows you have a striker.
No, I think that is also because Pep and Man City were very public in the fact that they wanted a striker. So if they weren't making those noises, I don't think it would have been that big a deal.
But we all knew it though, because everything they won was with Sergio Aguero.
They won last year. They won last season without, they won last season, and they reached the Champions League final, and Aguero barely played.
If they had Aguero last year.
Yeah, but Aguero, I think he barely even played.
Right. But if they had him, if they had a fit Aguero with Tuchel, and you guys be Champions League,
yes.
First of all, of course you're gonna say. But first of all, that weird lineup that Pep started the final with.
Yeah,
wouldn't even have existed. He would have played exactly who you thought he would have played. Did Aguero?
He did play. Aguero came on pretty late in the.
Yeah, came on late, right?
Yeah.
I mean that it definitely affected him, but we'll see. What's your last word? So Lee's happy.
No, by the way, I'm not saying that it doesn't affect them. I'm saying it does affect them, but they're still top because some of the other teams also have similar issues.
I'm waiting for it not to affect them. If they go through, if they win the league, I'll be like, I might still say they still need a striker. But if they win Champions League, I won't say that.
We don't need to end 2022 and 2021 on such a depressing note.
It's not.
Let's hope Manchester City doesn't win the Champions League.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we got. The dude's been winning everything.
You're only 6 points
Newcastle
behind.
getting relegated. They're the things we want to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna get relegated, guys.
I think this podcast has willed into existence.
I think your voodoo is working really strong on them right now. Actually, matter of fact, they might
like yesterday they played well, but they still just got the 1 point.
Yeah,
we've got them next.
Oh, come on, Lee! Can't let this happen.
Yeah, we can't let them get win number 2.
Yeah,
yeah, don't be win number 2.
Yeah,
but yeah, they might get relegated because they played all their games, I think.
Yeah, they're 2 points behind Burnley. Watford, and Watford has 2 games in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're on the same number of points as Burnley. Watford. Oh God. Okay, so they're on the same number of points as
behind Watford. Yeah.
Yeah, but Burnley have 4 games in hand.
Yeah.
So that's the team they need to be worried about.
Right. Yeah, they've played all their games, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to thank you guys for a good year of doing the podcast. Thank Aaron Brungardt. Thank everybody for listening and watching, commenting, tweeting. It's just been fun, especially with COVID and like using football like as a friend to take us through this when we're like quarantined, and just to have a topic. I also want to thank all the players for like actually playing and endangering their lives,
for our entertainment.
For shit, our entertainment, my entertainment for sure. Because I wouldn't have been out there. I gotta be honest. So I always watch them play with a level of God bless you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also there's unvaxxed players. Like, I'm not mad at those players. Those players played when there was no vaccine. Now they're getting killed for playing when there is a vaccine and they're not. It's like they took the chance. Of course, they feel like a cop who doesn't want to wear his vest that used to work in the most dangerous district. And like, I didn't get shot then. Now I'm working in Beverly Hills. Why am I putting on a vest for? So I feel you. But yeah, man, just God bless football and let's keep it coming. And thanks to the love and the relationships and all that shit. And man, you get our shit together, please. God damn it. I guess that's it. Happy New Year, everyone.
All right. Happy New Year, everybody.
All right.
Cheers.
Peace.